The desk is what's more important. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Montague Dunn.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
New plant species. The Kew Gardens teams are pleased to announce the successful production of a new variety of barley, one that retains a complete restraint to the cold. It is named the Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. Champagne?
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage.
It's very sudden he had money. Yeah, it was very sudden he had money. Of course he had money. Well, that's not the button I wanted to press. Oh god, now I have a... Oh god. Really? Oh, there you go. We've got somewhere. Ah, look, see, we're getting somewhere. Now we have just evidence. No, what?
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Of course you don't know. Of course. Oh, Albert! Divine Syndicate?
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Okay, that's 2 out of 3 people. Let's go to the CD, please. Right. Sorry, I was looking at the things. Ah! Damn, invisible walls! Yeah, hey. What the fuck was that? Meow. Meow. Miss Margaret White. The Divine Syndicate?
The Divine Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Thank you, miss.
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
Someone's lying! I'll look at Twilight later. Okay.
This is where I keep my...
I don't want my letters. I don't want my letters. I want my newspapers.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
Yes. Oh, shit. This is why I don't wear these types of things. Right. Let's go here. Oh, continue.
This
Yeah.
place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Wow, this is really beautiful. This is very pretty.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait?
Yes.
From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself I shall. I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Look around.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Okay. Your pots.
We visited Kew Gardens, and we found your symbols on their flower pots.
Coincidence, I am thinking. They would scavenge our refuse. It would not surprise me.
It was merely an observation.
Ready.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Yes.
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh la, good, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Thank you.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
That was very, very odd. Quite. Anywho.
A fragment of a flower pot. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The Kew Gardens symbol.
That's something really, really good.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
Yes.
It is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
So let's take cocaine. Right.
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
This must be Trewan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
Alright.
This door is locked.
Can you just tell? Oh my god. Is there anything? Oh Jesus. Yes. Solved it! See? Solved it! I solved it! I solved it! Oh, wait.
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
So they are smoking the opium. Wow, that's a lot of chemistry. Shut up. Shh.
This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the
Oh, as in the bottle we found at Kew Gardens, I think it said.
chemicals.
Sorry.
A sufficient
My apologies.
quantity for some serious experiments.
Wow, I suppose.
That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments.
Yeah, it looks it.
A vast amount of opium.
They have a bunch of opium balls. Anything else in this room? No. Weird. Cages.
Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
All the caterpillars. Every single caterpillar.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Wow.
A tropical plant.
Tropical plants are not of interest to you, Sherlock?
A tropical.
I'm examining every cage.
A tropical plant. A tropical plant.
Oh.
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
Let's just hope we don't get caught. Yeah, let's just hope we don't get caught. And if we get caught, we're gonna die. We are not gonna be in the land of the living. Hello. We're gonna be in the land of the dead. Anyways. Suspicious ingredient, poison. Well, this is set up an experiment. And then nothing else. So, go back to Baker's... Oh, fuck! I didn't mean to do that. Didn't want to do that. I'm sorry to the viewers at home. I didn't want to skip that, but... Go back to Baker Street. Yeah, my microphone keeps getting stuck inside that little hole bit, and it's starting to... I am questioning Watson's sanity. Questioning Watson's
I
sanity.
imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done.
Right.
I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
Ugh. Right. Sorry about that, but the experiment went well. We found out that the plant that went shoo, yeah, with the little plant small things. As soon as the caterpillar got on there, you know, it was all, you know, it was all split. So, continuing.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
Your activity that morning?
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Right. So I do have bad news. Next time I play this, it will probably not be on stream. It will probably be on recording. You know, to get a nice picture.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
Other people's activities?
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh, my God.
Mm.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Poor guy. Honestly, poor guy. I feel bad for him, I really do. There you go, do a nice little spin there.
Seed.
I know what house it is.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
Huh?
I can. But there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
Yeah. Time of death?
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
Your records?
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
No.
Thank you, miss.
Sometime later.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Right. Yeah.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome.
It's okay, sir.
Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
We had a bit of technical difficulties. There's the seed house, so the ventilation system is over there. So, there's a bunch of pots.
A water tank. First of all, I need to visit the colonial collection room to see how those caterpillars dropped onto the deadly plants.
I can get back to it via the seed place over there. I'm surprised no one else has seen that, honestly.
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
These
Don't know why it's telling me to do T. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I can follow the ventilation system. Don't know why I'm pressing R. It's very mute. There it is.
We can see the interior of the colonial collection room from this window. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the colonial collection room.
So we keep going.
The power is on. The engine cannot. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
This is interesting stuff. Okay, can I go forward? Can I go forward? Thank you. God. I literally have to take 2 seconds to fix Sherlock. So used to how DVD is broken.
Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
So it must be either Mr. Montague, because he had a reason why he should die. Albert has literally the worst experience ever. How can someone with a lack of experience put together that? And secondly, he loved his father. Even though his father was a dick, he loved his father. You know, he wouldn't do that to his father. So, I don't think it was Albert. Honestly. Don't think
Dry tropics.
Yeah, I know what every time you read something, Sherlock, you get stuck. And I can't keep fixing you like this. I mean, Albert has a lack of experience in this. Why would Albert kill his father? There's no motive. There's a revenge. Granted. But no motive. He loved his father. You may love someone, but you can still want them dead. Yeah, but he worshipped his father. He still loved his father. I mean, look, he's been the man. And you can literally just read a book. Yeah. But those are rare tropical plants. He had no experience, nor did he have the want to know what they are. His father screwed everything up for him too. Yeah, but he still loved his father. He still grieved for him. And secondly, even though Albert didn't have any knowledge of, botany, his father probably still wanted Albert to, continue on, what he had started. I think Albert's innocent. I don't think Albert would have killed him.
A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Thank you, very far away Watson. So, I don't think it was the girl, though, because the girl didn't have any motive. Apart from the fact she had racked up a lot of debts. And is poor and trying to get money. I don't think... The only person that fuck's sake. The only
I
time
don't
it
hear
would...
anything.
Yeah, because I hadn't put it in yet. God damn it. There you go. Yeah, he was the only one that disliked him. Because he had put in, his father's put in the work, and he didn't. Unless Margaret had something to get out of it from. Maybe. Wow. Look, until I find out that, you know, Margaret actually
There
had
it
something
is.
to do with it, I don't think that...
Cylinder record.
I don't... Yeah, but he's a plant expert, you know, he hated
Chemicals.
him.
A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
And there may be motive with the girl, but I don't see the
A
motive.
botany book.
I don't see...
This student's book belongs to Albert.
Yeah, that's too... Meh. Unless Margaret did have
It
something to gain
appears
from
as
it.
though the protective equipment is missing from here.
I mean, again, she knows a lot about plants. He knows a lot about plants.
Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need
That's
for
okay, sweetie.
self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why there's suits. Because, you know, dangerous plants and
Such
stuff.
masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic
Yeah.
chemicals.